matter. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, it brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning, and welcome to Storytime. Thank you so much for joining me today. Happy Tuesday! I have to keep reminding myself that it's Tuesday because I thought yesterday was Tuesday, but no, it was Monday. Today is Tuesday. Looking forward to a wonderful story together. Thank you so much for joining me. Glad that you're here with me today on Storytime. And of course, I hope that you're enjoying what we're reading so far. Of course, we've had just the one book, amazing book. Yesterday, we were reading one that I really love, and this one is called Take Off You're Brave. And today we're bringing in another one. Well, this one is coming back to Storytime actually after a long time. It was one of the first books that we read here on Storytime, and then came back somewhere in the middle, 2021, I want to say, and then now it's back. The Keeper of Wild Words. This one is written by Brooke Smith and illustrations by Madeline KLOEPER. And we're reading this one with permission of the publishers, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. A big thank you to them indeed for allowing us to share these amazing books here on Storytime, and some of them bringing back from a while back. But I love this one too. So I hope that you're ready. I hope that you're comfortable wherever you are. And indeed, time to get cozy and enjoy this lovely book, The Keeper of Wild Words. Yes, a big adventure, big responsibility that we have for you today. So get ready for this one. Thank you so much for joining in. Please, as always, let us know where you're joining in from and who is joining in with you. Glad to be here with you on Storytime today, indeed. And yeah, I am looking forward to this one, a beautiful one that we have, and lots of events coming up your way too, happening here on Storytime. Of course, on May 11th, we do have Marietta Apollonia and Jack, the library cat. They will be here live on Storytime. So get ready for that one and come and enjoy with us. I am excited to have Marietta here with us. And yeah, just looking forward to that one. And of course, too, on June 3rd, we will be at Fairyland, Children's Fairyland, for the Children's Book Festival with amazing creators. Come on out and enjoy, have fun with us. And of course, yes, come have your signed copies as well. So thank you so much for joining in Storytime. But of course, if you're able, join us on June 3rd at Children's Fairyland. And remember too, we said we'll be sharing a poem a day for this week as we commemorate National Poetry Month, which is April. And yeah, I thought today we should share this one from Adrienne Marie Brown, and this one was published on April 17th, 2023. So brand new poem, and I'll just read it very quickly and then we'll get to see who is here with us. This one is called At the Door. Don't shoot, there's a black boy at the door looking for his siblings. Don't shoot, there is a young black man ringing the doorbell. Don't shoot, there is a black child at the door and he is lost. Don't shoot, there is a brother at the door looking for his family. Don't shoot, There is a baby at the door trying to get home. Don't shoot. There is a life at the door moving towards life. Don't shoot. There is a neighbor at the door. There is a need at the door. There is a person at the door. There's a future at the door. There's a story at the door. You can help write it towards coming home, towards a safe ending, towards a next breath. Oh, holy hell. Don't knock. Don't get lost. Don't need. Don't seek. Don't run out of gas. Don't let your phone die. Don't go for a walk. Don't go for a drive. Don't play on the playground. Don't blast your music. Don't laugh out loud. Don't let them see you. Don't have a heart attack. Don't wonder or wonder. Don't approach with innocence. Don't center a deep breath. Don't pray as you ring the bell. Don't smile as you realize your mistake. Don't make any mistakes. Don't whistle. Don't flirt. Don't rest down your vigilance. Don't be you. Don't be seen. Don't breathe. Don't even breathe, child. There is a hunter at the door. Powerful, that one, coming to us from Adrienne Marie Brown, and you can follow them at adriennemariebrown.com and get to read that. And it's just with everything that has happened, I'm sure that story too rings familiar from the news, but yeah, just, you know, like how many times will things like this keep happening, and we keep, you know, turning a blind eye, turning away, and not speaking up. So I just thought we should share that one too, and just remember too that every child, every person deserves to walk freely in spaces, deserves to be themselves and be in spaces, you know. And just yes, some of us are, you know, like some of the things, you know, of discrimination can be taken off, but you can't take off your skin color. It is beautiful and it is who we are. And so we should be able to walk to a door by mistake and not get hurt, right? So just thinking about that today, and yeah, thinking about the many little children there, and many little black and brown children as well, that just need your protection, need your help, and need the community to gather around and hold them close. So thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I thought we should start with that one today, just a reminder. And yesterday too, I was having a conversation as I was going through this poem one more time, but just that they're food delivery people. They're people who do jobs that take them into spaces, and to think that they're in harm's way every single time just breaks my heart, you know, because you're just trying to live, you're just trying to be you, and yet that on its own puts you at risk. So just thinking about that, how can we play a part in our communities? How can we be community members that really, you know, move, that push against what the status quo is right now? Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I do promise you we do have a wonderful book, but these messages too must be shared. Important messages must be shared as well. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Let us see who is with us this morning, ready to kick off the day on with good thoughts and just positive thoughts, and also with thoughts of action today. What can I do? What step can I do to make sure that my community is welcoming to everybody? Thank you so much for joining in. Remember that we are reading The Keeper of Wild Words. I love this one so much, and I'm glad that we're bringing it back to story time. Good morning to you, Megan. How are you doing today? And of course, Ari, thank you so much for joining in story time. Absolutely appreciate you. And I'm glad that we get to spend a morning together, reading together, and indeed in community together. Good morning to you, Tara. Thank you so much for joining in. Erin and Clara out there in sunny Massachusetts, absolutely appreciate you. And thank you for being here with us. And of course, thank you indeed for that beautiful picture as well submitted. Thank you indeed for joining in Storytime. Absolutely love it. Erin and Clara, and of course, Tara, thank you for being here with us. Ari, love you back. And that's how it should be, right? Love, 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 sharing love and laughs and indeed life right here on Storytime. Thank you so much for being here with us. Appreciate you. Good morning to you, How are you doing today, Sarah and Nathan, out there in Illinois, where it is overcast today? You say happy Tuesday. Well, happy Tuesday to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Amanda West, thank you for being here with us on Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. Thank you indeed. I hope that you are ready for a wonderful story. Get comfortable, get cozy. We'll be getting started very, very shortly. Thank you so much for joining us on Storytime. Good morning to you. How are you doing today? Braylon, Chad, and of course Auntie Pam out there in Nakitosh, Louisiana. Chilly Nakitosh, we must say. Well, thank you so much for being here with us. Get those jackets, well, a blanket right now, and enjoy a good story. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. Amanda West, you say today's poem is powerful. Thank you for sharing this. Well, thank you indeed. Thank you. And yeah, let's just as community, as we build community here on Storytime, let's just remember to the larger community that exists out there and what roles we can play. And I know that we're all doing our parts, but just a reminder every now and then of the things that people in our neighborhoods, our community members, are going through on a daily basis. Thank you so much for joining in. Sarah and Nathan, hugs to you, appreciations all around. Good morning to you. How are you doing today? Soraya and of course Sharon Lungo, thank you so much for being here with us. Absolutely appreciate you. Right here in Oakland, I did look at the weather today. It will start off cold, get a little warmer in the day, and then of course I think for the rest of the week it goes back into, it will stay a little bit warm, and then definitely the cold early spring will be back. Early spring weather will be back. But today, grab your jacket in the morning, but you might not need it in the afternoon. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Please get ready, get comfortable, get cozy, as we'll be starting with our story very shortly. This one is called The Keeper of Wild Words. And join me on the other side of this short break when we're back for more story time. Absolutely appreciate you, and I'll catch you on the other side.
Hello, my name is Maria Lofton. I'm the creator and author of the Kids Love Oakland book series, and you are watching Storytime with Mr. Lamata.
We're your kitchen tenders, and you're listening to Storytime with Mr. Lamata. One more time. We're kitchen tenders, and you're listening to Storytime with Mr. Lamata. Yay, Mr. Lamata! Yay, you.
Thank you so much for joining in. Yes, Kids Love Oakland series, Maria Lofton. If you've not seen those books, please do find them where you find books, and get to learn a little bit more about Oakland as she celebrates Oakland in her books. And of course, Kit and Tenders, check out their musical podcast, children's musical podcast, Tune Tales with Kit and Tenders. Join in that one and have some fun. Sing along, why not? Today we're reading a very beautiful book. This one is called The Keeper of Wild Words. And this one is written by Brooke Smith, illustrations by Madeline KLOEPER, and we're reading this one with permission of the publishers, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. But before we get started, I just wanted to read the author's note as well, because it provides a little bit of insight. Well, it provides insight into how this story came about. Here we go. Let me just go to the author's note and then we're back. And also too, when you get this book, it has a good pocket in the back where you can, whatever words you collect, you can stack them in that envelope and you can keep coming back to them. So it opens right up there. There's a whole sleeve at the back that can hold all those new words that you're learning, or even old ones that you've learned already. So listen to this. Author's note from Brooke Smith. This book was inspired by an article I read that astounded me. The Oxford Junior Dictionary removed over 100 natural words from its pages. They no longer felt these words had relevance for today's children. They were replaced by words such as, and again, this list, to remember, this book is written a few years back. So listen to this list. Those are words that were had replaced a few words before, but I'm pretty sure these words now we've moved on so much more too. These words were analog, cautionary tale, chat room, conflict, creep, database, drought, MP3 player, negotiate, vandalism, voicemail. And you can add all the new ones that have come up since then, right? At first, I was angry, then disillusioned, then ultimately very sad. But the beauty of being a writer is that you can create a world that you want to see. I decided to write a book where some of these lost wild words would be celebrated and recognized beyond the pages of the dictionary, to perhaps shed light on what is transpiring by bringing them to life and have children and their parents be aware of how much we need to sustain the language of the natural world. I hope I've done that with this book. I hope every one of us will be keepers of wild words. I cannot imagine a world without these beautiful words in it. With love, Brooke. Let's find out what some of those words will be saving today. Here we go. The Keeper of Wild Words. Written by Brooke Smith. Illustrations by Madeline KLOEPER. And we're reading this one with the permission of the publishers, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. At the end of a long cinder lane, surrounded by meadows and pine trees and sky that wrapped around the back again, Brooke ran up to her grandmother's door, swung it open, and she belonged. Mimi, I'm here. Yes, may we all have spaces like that, where when we swing open the door, when we enter, we belong. Brooke ran up her grandmother's door, swung it open. Yes, she belonged. Mimi, I'm here. Brooke called her grandmother Mimi. She wasn't just a grandmother. She was a grand friend. Mimi had been waiting. She had been sitting at her desk all day, distracted by a hummingbird, a wasp's nest, a red-tailed hawk hovering overhead. Mimi was a writer. She wove words into everything that mattered. Yes. Brooke called her grandmother Mimi. She wasn't just a grandmother. She was a grand friend. I love that. Brooke was so excited to be visiting. She needed Mimi's help. Tomorrow was the first day of school, and Brooke had nothing to show and tell. Her summer had been wonderful, but she didn't have one special thing to share that her friends would always remember. What would she share? Can you help Brooke find something to share? What's your go-to show and tell? But today, Mimi needed Brooke's help too. She had something important to ask her. I'm afraid some of my favorite words are disappearing. Some of the wild words that I've known and loved my whole life. Yes, but today, Mimi needed Brooke's help too. She had something important to ask. I'm afraid some of my favorite words are disappearing. Some of the wild words that I have known and loved my whole life. How do words disappear? Brooke wondered. Words disappear if we don't share them when we talk, if we don't write them in our stories, and if we don't read them in our books. If we don't use words, they can be forgotten. And if they're forgotten, well, they disappear. I need someone to keep them safe, she continued. To help remember, I need you to be my keeper, the keeper of wild words. Can I wear a crown? Brooke asked. No, Mimi laughed. The keeper doesn't need a crown. She just needs to keep her eyes wide open and be ready to see and hear and feel all the wild words. That way, she will always remember them. Ah, the keeper does not need a crown. Look! Acorn, apricot, beaver, blackberry, buttercup, dandelion, doe, drake, fern, lavender, minnow, mint, monarch, poppy, porcupine, starling, violet, willow, wren. Oh, those words. From sun up to sundown, we will walk and run and walk again, sit and wait, listen and touch until we find every word on the list, said Mimi. Oh, every word on the list finds us. Yes, we have an adventure ahead of us. From sun up to sundown, we will walk and run and walk again, sit and wait, listen and touch until we find every word on the list, said Mimi. Or every word on the list finds us. All right. I am ready, said Brooke, and they were off. And sure enough, as soon as they stepped out into the morning, wild words were waiting. A wren sung a good morning song. A little brown bird with a voice like an angel, sitting up high, looking down, just waiting to say hello to the world. Ah, yes. A wren sang a good morning song. A little brown bird with a voice like an angel, sitting up high, looking down, just waiting to say hello to the world. To say hello to you. Bunches of violets spread underfoot. Sweet perfume filled the air, almost making Brooke dizzy. Their little purple faces smiled, inviting the day to begin. Poppies in the corner of the yard suddenly popped open, paper petals reaching to the sun. Ah. I don't know if you've been able to see the maybe on TV or somewhere, but all the California poppies too that have been super blooming right now. Branches of violets spread underfoot. Sweet perfume filled the air, almost making Brooke dizzy. Their little purple faces smiled, inviting the day to begin. Poppies in the corner of the yard suddenly popped open, paper petals reaching to the sun. Oh. And bushes filled with blackberries, just like the ones Brooke had eaten for breakfast. Hundreds still waiting to be picked and enjoyed for dessert. Yum, yum, yum. Do wild words dance like this every morning? They do. If we pay attention, they do. Oh. Along the way, Brooke picked up an acorn that fell from a mighty oak. Big towering oak tree, little nut with a tiny brown hat, smooth round shell. She put it in her pocket to remember. Up ahead, they saw light reflected in a round mirror of water, the pond. Oh. Yes. Up ahead, they saw light reflected in a round mirror of water. The pond. When Brooke scooped up a handful of water, silver minnows swam circles in her palm. Now a pool. Whoever knew she could hold the wild. Then splash, silence broken. A beaver jumped in, and then under he went, swimming towards his den, climbing on the other side of the pond, and then disappearing from view. It's sure busy around here, Brooke said. Always, Mimi answered. Always. It sure is busy around here. Always. Bushels of mint surrounded the pond. Mimi picked stems and rubbed the leaves in her fingers. Brooke picked a leaf and put it in her mouth. Fresh, sweet, tangy. From the ground, from the earth, she could taste the wild. Then one last visitor waddled by. Green velvet head, bright yellow beak. Mr. Drake, Papa Duck, running. Quack! Run! Lift off, wings out, and there he goes. Oh, yes. Mr. Drake for liftoff. Where next? The meadow. Just follow the trail, cut deep in the tall grass. Brooke ran ahead. So free, so free, so free. A butterfly, a monarch diving in the breeze. Now you're just like me. Yes, may we all run free. So free, so free, so free. A butterfly, a monarch, diving in the breeze. Now you're just like me. Bright buttercups welcomed them. Yellow petals glistening in the sun. A wild carpet of light and beauty. Quick, make a wish, said Mimi, holding out a dandelion fairy dust sitting on a stem. Blow on it, and the seeds will fly. Your tiny wishes in the air. And I hope that you get to write down these words or ones that you're not sure about and see if you can look them up later too. Blow on it, and the seeds will fly. Your tiny wishes in the air. At the top of the meadow stood an old willow tree. The shade of the willow was like a dear friend. Mimi had known this tree forever. What a perfect place to have lunch, Mimi said. She took out small sandwiches and apricots picked from her yard. Round, fuzzy fruit, sweet as could be, the juice dripping with every bite. Yum. Rows of lavender lined the field below, filling the air with the magic perfume. Just then, overhead, Brooke could not believe her eyes. There's a bird cloud flying above us. Oh my, Mimi said. The starlings are back. Such an amazing wonder. Have you seen starlings before? Thousands of birds swooped, darted, and turned, somehow always staying connected. Then they floated away as mysteriously as they came. Beautiful, isn't it? Finally, they wandered over to the dense, dark woods. Brooke had always been a little afraid of the forest, but now part of her was wild, and she couldn't wait. A light rain started to fall. Sudden summer shower. The rain made the smells of the forest come alive, and all the plants glisten. The ferns, with their magnificent green feathered leaves, curled up and then spread out like a fan for everyone to notice. Yeah. I hope you're able to have a walk in nature today. And take a paper with you. Take down a list, see what you can find. What else do you see? Mimi asked. Brooke looked across the forest floor, and sure enough, nestled in the needles was a deer, curled up like the fern, fast asleep in the shadows. Quiet, quiet, peace and quiet. Walk slowly by, and we will let her be. No. Quiet, quiet, peace and quiet. Walk slowly by. We'll let her be. In the woods, things appear around corners, tapped deep. Ahead, they heard a rustling. Stop, Mimi said. Walk back slowly towards me. Right then, a porcupine popped out and ran up a tree. Porcupines, if they're scared, will let their quills fly. Surprises abound in the wild. Oh, please be careful. Yes, indeed. Porcupines, if they're scared, will let their quills fly. Surprises abound in the wild. Oh. Mimi had one other surprise. You know, my favorite wild word is not on the list, she said. A gurgling sound was coming from a clearing, light flickering on a glassy surface. It was a small stream, a brook, dancing. Oh, I skipped one line. Let's go back. Mimi had one surprise. You know, my favorite wild word is not on the list, she said. It's standing right in front of me. A gurgling sound was coming from the clearing, light flickering on a glassy surface. It was a small stream, a brook, dancing, sparkling, singing. It knew exactly where it was going. Joyful thread of water cutting through the trees. Yes, indeed. Joyful thread of water cutting through the trees. The last wild word is you, Mimi said. You were named after this tiny stream that your mother always cherished. One could only imagine such a perfect name for the keeper of wild words. Yes, indeed. One could only imagine such a perfect name for the keeper of wild words. Ah. Mimi, I never told you what I needed help with, said Brooke. What is it? Mimi said. I need something special to show and tell tomorrow. And now I have it. Ah, yes. I think you have something special to show and tell right there. The night sky would soon be painted, stars gleaming overhead, a beautiful wild curtain closing on the day. Mimi's wild words were safe. They were shared and remembered, understood, deeply loved. When the wild wraps around you, it stays forever in your heart. Ah, yes. When the wild wraps around you, it stays in your heart. And that is the end of our story today. I hope you enjoyed it. This one is called The Keeper of Wild Words. It is written by Brooke Smith and illustrations by MADELINE KLOEPER, and we're reading it with permission of the publishers, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. Join me on the other side of this short break when we're back for more story time.
Hey everyone, it's Tiffany Golden, author of I Want to Be Big and Wash Day, and you are watching Storytime with Mr. LaMotta.
Welcome back indeed. Thank you, Tiffany Golden with I Want to Be Big. And we, of course, too, will be back with a brand new book, her other book that is coming out. It's, yes, 2 in a space of 2 months, I think. So there's one book coming out again very soon that we'll also be celebrating here on Storytime. But for now, find I Want to Be Big wherever you find books. Ask for it at your local library. Thank you so much for joining me on Storytime today. It is always special to be here with you. And of course, as we continue to commemorate National Poetry Month, which is April. And of course, tomorrow we'll be back with another exciting book. And this one is called On Wings of Words, The Extraordinary Life of Emily Dickinson. Join us for this one and get to enjoy it. It is written by Jennifer Byrne, illustrations by Becca Stadlander, and it is another one from Chronicle Books of San Francisco. Join me for that one tomorrow. But thank you so much for joining in today. I am glad that we were here together to enjoy that wonderful book. And of course, to remember that we do have an amazing lineup this week. So we've gone through 2, Take Off Your Brave, The Keeper of Wild Words. Tomorrow is On the Wings of Words. And then we will have, of course, Stopping by the Woods on Thursday. And then Friday, we will have Out of Wonder. So join us for all those amazing books. Thank you to the beautiful creators, amazing creators that have allowed us to share so much here on Storytime. And of course, to remember that on May 11th, Marietta Apollonia will be here with us on Storytime. So please join us. Jack the Library Cat will be here. Join us for art, conversation, and of course, reading. And then on June 3rd, we're at Fairyland, Children's Fairyland. Book festival will be there, and so please join us and come have fun with us. And of course, too, remember we're doing a poem a day this week, and we do have this beautiful one coming to us from Adrienne Marie Brown. It is a powerful one indeed, and I thought we should share this one today, and I'll just go through it quickly one more time. Don't shoot, there is a black boy at the door looking for his siblings. Don't shoot, there is a young black man ringing the doorbell. Don't shoot, there is a black child at the door and he is lost. Don't shoot, there is a brother at the door looking for his family. Don't shoot, there is a baby at the door trying to get home. Don't shoot, there is life at the door moving towards life. Don't shoot, there is a neighbor at the door. There is a need at the door. There is a person at the door. There is a future at the door. There is a story at the door. You can help write it towards coming home, towards a safe ending, towards a next breath. Oh, holy hell. Don't knock. Don't get lost. Don't need. Don't seek. Don't run out of gas. Don't let your phone die. Don't go for a walk. Don't go for a drive. Don't play on the playground. Don't blast your music. Don't laugh out loud. Don't let them see you. Don't have a heart attack. Don't wonder or wonder. Don't approach with innocence. Don't center with a deep breath. Don't pray as you ring the bell. Don't smile as you realize your mistake. Don't make any mistakes. Don't whistle. Don't flirt. Don't rest down your vigilance. Don't be you. Don't be seen. Don't breathe. Don't even breathe, child. There is a hunter at the door. And that is our poem of the day. Thank you so much for joining me on Storytime today. Powerful words indeed from Adrienne Marie Brown. And may we continue to play a part in our communities in making them better. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. Megan and Ari, thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being here with us on Storytime. I hope you enjoyed the book that we had for you. And of course, the poem of the day as well. Definitely something to think about, something to ponder. Thank you so much for joining in, Tara, McNamara, and of course, Erin and Clara out there in sunny Massachusetts. Thank you for being here with us. Love right back at you, Ari. Thank you for being here with us. Megan, thank you for joining in Storytime. Sarah and Nathan, Amanda, West, thank you for joining us out there in Illinois where it is overcast today. And you say happy Tuesday to everybody. Well, happy Tuesday to you too. Thank you so much for joining in. And one more time, good morning to you, Braylon, Chad, and of course, Auntie Pam, Auntie Ann. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. And of course, you're out there in Natchitoches, Louisiana, where it is cold today, chilly. Well, thank you so much for joining in. Absolutely appreciate you, Amanda West. Today's poem is powerful. Thank you for sharing. Absolute pleasure. If you have any poems that you think we should share here on Storytime in the next few days that we're sharing a poem a day, well, send us our way and we might just consider putting them up too, or indeed just directing people to them. Love you, love you, love you, Ari. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for this community. Thank you for this space in which we can indeed share community, read books, remind each other of what's important. I absolutely appreciate you. Much love from me, and I will see you again tomorrow when we're back for more story time. And remember too, there are lots and lots of events coming up, including on June 3rd when we'll be at Fairyland. Thank you so much for joining in. Have yourselves a wonderful day. This has been Storytime on this beautiful Tuesday morning. This has been Storytime for today. Much love from me. I will see you again tomorrow when we're back for On Wings of Words. Yes, the extraordinary life of Emily Dickinson. Join us for this one and come have fun. Thank you indeed for being here. Much love from me. I will see you again tomorrow. And of course, Maple, bye-bye to you as well. Much love. Bye-bye.
Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all reading? We just can't wait to be hearing